Now we talked about Schedule 3 and Schedule 4 medication, and we saw how the labels would look like. Now let's go to Schedule 5 and Schedule 6 medication and see how their labels would look like. Now let's start with Jane Doe's script, the Schedule 5 script. So the Schedule 5 script, as you can see, is still from the same doctor, Dr. A. Smith, and you can see the qualification and the prescriber number there. There's also an MP number, contact details for the doctor, and as you can see, the script was prescribed on the 22nd of the 9th month 2025, and the direction is diazepam 5 milligrams. Schedule 5, it's written the Schedule 5, as you can see. The direction is take one tablet once in the evening as needed for anxiety. The quantity is 30 and there are 2 repeats, and the signature at the bottom, as you can see, it's signed by Dr. A. Smith, and there is a stamp. Let's see how the label for this prescription will look like. As you can see, the prescription was dispensed at the same pharmacy as our previous labels. As I said, I asked ChatGPT to generate the labels for us. So it's still on Meds Pharmacy, and the address is 45 Main Street, Johannesburg, 2000. And the telephone number is 011 456 7890. And the patient's details you can see on the label is still, it's Jane Doe. I assume this is John Doe's wife. So it's Jane Doe, and the dispensing date is the 22nd of the 9th month 2025. So we still assume that Jane Doe was with John Doe. They went straight from the doctor to the pharmacy on the same date. And then the prescriber is still the same doctor as you can see on the prescription, Dr. A. Smith, and the PR number is 9876543. And the dispenser is TMeds/PB. As I said, that slash, the letters after the slash means a lot. So in this case, PB means post-basic pharmacist assistant. As you can remember, when I discussed the scope of practice of each qualification, I did mention that post-basic pharmacists are allowed to dispense Schedule 5 prescription, but under a direct supervision of a pharmacist. Now let's go to the top right corner opposite Jane Doe. As you can see, it says Schedule 5, S5, it means Schedule 5. And you know the rules of Schedule 5 medication. As I said, Schedule 5 medication are more prone to abuse. So you can't get this medication over the counter. You need a prescription, a very valid prescription for this medication. And then there is an RX number, very important for traceability. And then let's go to the product details. So as you can see in the prescription, it was prescribed diazepam 5 milligrams. Diazepam is a molecular name. So when you go to the retail pharmacy, you will get a generic name on the box. So in this case, we have Valium 5 milligrams. This is the original brand of the diazepam molecule. So it's Valium 5 milligrams tablet. So if we say, let's say now we dispense PEX, then it's gonna be PEX 5 milligrams. Betapam is gonna be Betapam 5 milligrams. Whichever generic is available, we're gonna dispense that. And in this case, the doctor is not specific enough, so we are allowed to give a customer any generic available at the pharmacy. So if there is a cheaper generic than this one, we have to give the customer the cheapest generic available. So then the name of the product on the label, if you buy in the retail, will match the name of the product in the box. So it will match. So if you see a Valium label on the box, also gonna be Valium. But if you go to a public pharmacy, or you go to a clinic or a hospital, then it would say, even if it's a Valium, even if the product you got is Valium, it will still say diazepam, because in hospital they use more molecular name. So the directions are take one tablet at night if necessary for anxiety. So that means the customer doesn't have to take the tablets every day. They will only take it if they feel anxious. So it can be every 5 days, it can be every day, it can be every second, it can be every third day. It will depend on the situation. And then the quantity is 30, so that the customer must get 30 tablets, and there's also 2 repeats. When it comes to repeats, I've mentioned this before, there is the original repeat plus 2 more repeats. That means the customer will get a total of 3 repeats. 3 repeats, 3 months, whichever comes first. Now I generated a second label just to show you how a second label, if the customer comes back again, how another label would look like. So in this case, as you can see, most of the details are still the same customer details, but the dispensing date will differ because now in this case, the customer came back on the 11th month. They came back on the 20th of the 11th month to get their repeat. We don't know what happened on the 10th month, if they came or they didn't come, because maybe they didn't need the repeats because they take it only if it's necessary. As you can see, they come back on the 11th month, the 20th of the 11th month. What changed on the label is the RX number, the date, and also the repeats, the dispenser as well. Let's start with the date. The date is the 20 on the 11th month, and then the script number is changed, as you can see, because now you're dispensing a new script, like you're dispensing a new script. So it generated a new script number. So in this case, it's 03900, new script number. And the dispenser is different. It's highly unlikely that you're gonna be held by the same person over and over again because a lot of staff members in the pharmacy. In this case, the dispenser is BDO and then /PI. In this case, PI means a pharmacist intern. So pharmacist interns are allowed to practice under a scope of practice of a pharmacist under a direct supervision of a pharmacist. So they can also dispense Schedule 5 prescription. And then the directions are still the same. We're not changing anything. They can take it, they have to take it as per original prescription. Quantity is 30. And the repeat, as you can see now, then it was 2 repeats. Now it's 2 out of 2. That means this is the last repeat. So the repeats there, the corner, if we have generated the label for the 10th month, it would say it would have said 1 of 2. But now the customer, we don't know what happened to the 10th month. They came on the 11th month. So it's 2 out of 2. This is the last label. Regardless if they came and collect or not, this will still be their last repeat, because if you don't come and collect, then we immediately omit that month. Then if you came and collect, then you get the full month supply. But in this case, we don't know. Maybe it got 3, maybe it got 2, we don't know. One thing you should also remember is that the repeat tracker that you see on your label is only accurate if you're collecting your medication on time every month. So if you happen to skip a month, then it won't be accurate. So in this case, Jane Doe's case, let's assume that she skipped October. So although the initial label that she got said 2 repeats, she can't come back now in November and say that she still has 2 repeats left. And she showed us the label that was dispensed on the 9th month. The 10th month was skipped. So now that means she only has 1 repeat that she's collecting on the 11th month. The other repeat that you were supposed to collect on the 10th month is now omitted. She won't be able to get that anymore. So we assume that if someone doesn't collect their repeats, then they don't need it. So we omit that repeat. That is according to the Medicines Act.